Right, I was going to do a video on a different subject, but obviously there was Champions League football tonight, and there's European football tomorrow night and Thursday, and one wrong result stuck out, and that is Chelsea losing 3-0 away to Roma. Now, Roma and the Italian Serie A in general is not the league it was 10, 15 years ago. It's still a damn good league, it's just not as good as years past. And just grab something down here, and we can debate about it, but apparently Chelsea were well beaten. Not even close. Let's just say this Roma side not as bad as the side that got battered by Man United like 6-7-1 several times. We're not talking that level of bad. They have got some good players, some very good players, like Danelli De Rossi for one. World Cup winner in their side. But my question is, are Chelsea missing a Diego Costa up front? Are they with the issues with Diego Costa in summer and beginning of the season, and the fact that in 2 months' time he gets to go to Atletico Madrid, and bearing in mind he has not played in the Champions League this season at all, and Atletico can name him in their Champions League squad should they get through to the knockout stages, which would be interesting should Chelsea get through. This is interesting. Conte is under a lot of pressure, but every manager who's at Chelsea is always under pressure from game one. That's another issue for another story. But are Chelsea missing him? I think they are. Morata is a different type of player. He's more cultured in his style of play. Diego Costa is more combative, and famously combative actually, regularly riles up defenders. But are they missing him? I think they are. I think they are. Definitely. The Watford game, they were lucky to win. That could have gone either way. That really could have gone either way. They scraped past Bournemouth, and Bournemouth are not playing badly. They're just in the bottom three, and I think it's unfair on Bournemouth as well. They got lucky with the goal. If the goalkeeper's positioned slightly to the right, that doesn't go in. That's the save, and it's a 0-0. So things are not, just because Chelsea are still doing reasonably well in the league does not mean there's no problems. They are missing Terry at the back. David Luiz is trying too hard, because David Luiz, when the team playing well, is more controlled in his play, and he doesn't have to express himself as a leader on the pitch. Because David Luiz leads by example rather than by voice. He's a very eccentric player. So when you notice when the team are playing really well, he's less likely to make mistakes. When the team are playing not as well, he feels it upon himself to be Brazilian basically and really attack more. And I do think he's not a centre back. I think he's more of a defensive, deep line midfielder. But that's again another discussion where he gets played. He's a damn good player. He's just crazy. Simple. I'm not going to knock Chelsea, but they were soundly beaten tonight. Now, are they missing Diego Costa? In my eyes, yes. Yes, they are. The whole Diego Costa saga, I think, is more damaging than missing him, to be honest. I think that's still lingering over them. The fact he's still on the club's books for another 2 months, because Atletico have got a transfer ban. And why wasn't he not? Well, it could have been dealt with a lot better. End of. The defeat tonight says all was not well at Chelsea. But unfortunately, every manager who gets in the door at Chelsea, as soon as the first ball is kicked of the season, they are automatically under pressure. Abramovich just doesn't have patience. And Conte is a bloody good manager. But, I say but, there's always pressure at Chelsea. Could they win the league? Yeah, of course they could. They are contenders until they're not, basically. Simply put. But they've had some choppy form the last couple of seasons. Won the league, struggle. Win the league, struggle. They're now getting very inconsistent in their league form, which then transfers into their European form. All is not lost because of this defeat, but it piles on unnecessary pressure onto the manager. Unnecessary. And the fact that Chelsea lost away to an Italian side, bear in mind Conte is Italian and has managed in that league and has won in that league, means either the opposition managers have sussed him out when he plays European football in Italy with Chelsea, if they are up against Italian sides, and they've already sussed him out. They know what his so I don't know, but I do think they are missing Costa, undoubtedly. I was going to do a video earlier on about the Diego Costa saga and how it's been dealt with by the club, by the player, by the manager. And there's obviously reasons why Conte didn't want it back, and it's probably down to is he disruptive in the change, or how other players interact with him, because he does get under players' skin. And at any sports team, there's going to be that one player who is a problem child. That's the issue. Also, it doesn't help when the player thinks they're bigger than the club. No one is. It's a unified team sport. You are going to have star players, but they're not bigger than the club. They like to think they are, and that's another issue. Is players asking for? There are issues with football in general, but they are missing Diego Costa, no doubt. Undoubtedly they are. So where do we go from here? God knows. I'm going to leave that there. And I honestly, I don't know what the response is going to be. But anyone managing Chelsea's got an uphill struggle from day one to please the owner. The fans now expect success. They're not used to even losing. They don't like losing even one game a season, and I get that. But you take the manager out. Take the ownership, aside from the team. Let's say Abramovich walks away. The club has got a lot of debts. The club is losing money. Without Abramovich, the club is in trouble. And yes, he demands success, and yes, he's had. A friend of mine told me how many managerial appointments. I think they've had 14, including Mourinho come back for his second term, Gus Hiddink coming back for his second term, plus caretaker managers and full-time appointments. They've had multiple managerial appointments. On a similar level to the amount of managers Mike Ashley's had as well in his time in charge. It's basically working out at basically one a season. So for a manager to last more than a season at Chelsea, that's good going. Another issue is with that kind of turnover of managers, the players hear a different voice every season. And the leadership group has been diminished with Lampard and Terry and Cech leaving and not being replaced. It's not the Chelsea of old. They're not as dominant as they used to be as well. So they've lost a lot of leaders from the team. And winners. And I honestly don't know where they go from here. Tonight's defeat is going to be upsetting for Chelsea fans who travel to Italy. It's going to be upsetting for the team. I honestly don't know where they go from here. It's a difficult one, but I do think they are missing Costa. They're missing the leadership of other players. And Conte's got an uphill battle to please the fans, the owners, and keep all his players happy, because the amount of players he's got in the squad who are internationals, you can't drop anyone, it seems. It's like a losing battle at Chelsea. But look where they were before Abramovich, and look where they are now. It's a completely different club. It's a completely different style of football they play. The structures of the club have changed. They've had so much success that they don't know what defeat's all about, and it's a difficult one to quantify, because I remember Chelsea sides in the 90s doing really well in the FA Cup, and that was about it. They really got hammered in the league a lot, and their league form was dire, and they had a lot of good players as well. So it was really surprising to me how they struggled in the league so much. And then Abramovich comes along, and he brings in Mourinho after Ranieri. So he goes from one good manager to another good manager, and they win titles, and they win FA Cups, and they win League Cups, and then they eventually, down the line, win European titles. So they've won everything in the game. In the European game at least. They've got all the silverware. But the managers keep changing. And the core group of players now is not the core group of players from 5-6 years ago. They've lost a lot of leaders. They have lost, as I said, Terry, Cech, Lampard, Makelele back in the day. Claude Makelele was an integral part of the midfield. Wayne Bridge is gone. God, a lot of the voices on the pitch have gone. Didier Drogba. I could make a very long list about the players who've either retired or moved on, and those that are left. They've gone through a lot of goalkeepers since Cech's gone. They've now got Courtois, and that is a good choice to have. But they had Begovic as well. They let him go. I think that's an error because he's an experienced goalkeeper at this level and an international. When Mourinho first came in, they had Cudicini in goal, and he's that little bit older than Cech, but he's obviously retired now, and he had a severe injury as well. And he was a cult legend at the club. So they've lost a lot of leadership over the last 5-10 years. A lot of leadership. They've lost. Ivanovic is gone. It's not the side that it was. And that's got to be worrying for the manager and for the fans, that their leadership group has completely evolved in such a way that they're now lacking a lot of them. And Diego Costa up front means you're now lacking that bite up front because Morata is more of a skill player. And so yeah, I think they do miss a lot of the least, not just that players have retired and moved on. They haven't replaced it with anyone. And it doesn't appear that they're bringing enough youth players because they seem to be keep letting a lot of youth players go to other clubs for cheap. So I don't know. They still are a damn good side. They play a different style of football to Man City. They play a different style of football to Man United, Liverpool, Tottenham's, your Leicesters, your Arsenals. Every club needs to have its own style. They've got the Chelsea style, which is a mix of structure, flair, and hard work. They've been undone tonight by a very, very good Roma side. They've been undone because of the lack of leadership in certain positions, the lack of squad depth maybe. But yeah, the Diego Costa saga still hangs over them. So I think they are missing him. And it is unsettling for the players that are still there. On that note, I'm going to call it on the conversation now. I would like you guys to comment below, and if you like this video, or even if you dislike the video, it doesn't matter, because I'd rather have the conversation. And this is the first video I've done on Chelsea. I think it's the first Chelsea video I've done for a while, if at all. So yeah, please like and subscribe, please comment below. You can have your viewpoint. If you're watching the game on Sky or BT, if you're at the game, if you're out actually in Italy and you're watching this, and you're having a bit of a hair in the mouth, and you're having a bit of you want to get back to the hotel, or you're in the hotel, I want to hear. Like, so far this season, apart from Everton, all the English sides have been doing really well in Europe, and this is just a blip. They are going to get out of the group. They're good enough for that. They're going to get to the knockout stages. It's what they do once they get to the knockout stages. Will they assess, bring some players in? Will they promote some youth? Will Conte still be there? That's another question we've got to ask. Will Conte still be in charge come the knockout stages in the new year? He is under a lot of pressure. It comes with the Chelsea job. They expect immediate results at Chelsea. They don't expect you got to bed in for a couple of years. They expect you to win from day one. That's across the board at the club. As owners, fans, backroom staff, they expect to win. Win. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll have another video for you soon.